Hello, my dear children. Welcome to science class. I hope you all are safe at your places. In today's class, we will be learning about chapter number 11, whose title is Measurement. So, children, let's begin with the chapter. In our everyday life, we need to measure many things. For example, the street vendor measures the quality of vegetables, fruits, etc. Milkman measures the quantity of milk. The tailor measures the length of a cloth, and so on. So, children, when you go outside, you can see that in the market, the vendor is selling vegetables and fruits, and he is having a weighing balance, and he is measuring an amount of vegetable or the quantity of the fruits, and accordingly he is asking for the price of that quantity of vegetable. So, children, everything needs a measurement. Like a milkman measures the quantity of milk, and tailor measures the length of a cloth. But everything has a different unit to measure. In this chapter, we will be learning about the different quantities and their units to measure. So, children, let's move on. Measuring length. We can measure the length of a thing using our body parts. Cubit. The distance from the elbow to the tip of middle finger is known as cubit. Children, many times while measuring a length of a cloth or a furniture, we use our elbow to measure the distance. And this distance from elbow to the tip of the middle finger is known as cubit. So, children, while measuring length, we can use our body parts. Next, hand span. The length between the tip of the thumb and the little finger is known as hand span. So, children, many times we use our palm, isn't it, to measure the distance or to measure the length, and that is known as hand span. Next, foot span. The distance covered by 1 foot step is known as foot span. Children, everyone's foot length differs. So, 1 foot step is known as foot span. So, the distance covered by 1 foot step is known as foot span. Next is arm length. The length between the shoulder and the middle finger is known as arm length. What do you mean by arm length, children? It is the length between the shoulder and the middle finger. Next. Now, children, everyone's foot length differs. hand length differs. So, for measuring a particular thing, we will not get any standard measurement by our body parts. That's why we need a standard unit to measure a particular thing. The measurement obtained using a body part is not accurate, since size of body parts differ from person to person. Therefore, we need to have a standard unit of measurement. Meter is the standard unit of length. So children, what is the standard unit of length? It is meter. Centimeter, millimeter and kilometer are the other units of length. We measure length using a ruler, meter rod or measuring tape. Children, ruler means scale. So, for measuring length, we need to have ruler, meter rod or measuring tape. Since our body parts cannot give the accurate measurement of a particular thing. So, what is the standard unit of length? It is meter, which is written as small m. And centimeter is written as small cm. Similarly, millimeter and kilometer is also written as mm and km respectively in small letters. Now, let's learn about measuring mass. Children, mass means weight. In early days, people used to measure mass of a substance using seeds, grains and stones. But these weights and measures were not always the same. Hence, there was a need to develop a standard unit of mass. Nowadays, we measure the mass of an object using a weighing scale, beam balance, or an electronic balance. So children, for weighing mass, what are the equipments we need or the instruments we need? These are weighing scale, beam balance, or an electronic balance. Mass of an object tells us how light or heavy that object is. So children, what is the definition of mass? The definition of mass states that mass of an object tells us how light or heavy that object is. Now, the standard unit for measuring mass is kilogram, that is kg. Kilogram is written in as kg in small letters. The other commonly used unit is gram, which is written as g in small letter. So children, same as that of the length, mass also has its own standard unit and it is known as kilogram or kg. Usually, foodstuffs like vegetables, fruits, these are the things we buy when we go to buy in the market, we get it in the kilogram. The amount the vendor is giving us in kilogram, we are paying for that amount of vegetable or fruits to the vendor. So, like length, mass also has its standard unit, which is known as kilogram. And the instruments that is used to measure the mass is beam balance or electronic balance. In many countries, mass or the weight is measured in pounds. Children, along with the standard unit of mass, that is kilogram, there are certain countries where the weight is measured in pounds. Okay? So children, let's move to our next measuring quantity, and that is measuring capacity. Children, what do you mean by capacity? Capacity is the amount of a liquid a container can hold. So children, as we know that liquid doesn't have its own shape or size. It takes up the size of the container in which it is poured. So, capacity can be defined as the amount of liquid a container can hold. We use a measuring cylinder or a measuring beaker to measure capacity. The smaller the container, the lesser will be the capacity to hold liquids. So children, for measuring the liquids, we have a measuring cylinder. Like we have ruler or scale for measuring length, we have measuring cylinder for measuring liquids. Since liquids do not have their own shape, that's why they have to be put into a container to measure what is the amount of liquid we are using. So measuring cylinder has the numericals written over it, same as that of the ruler or the scale. With the help of those numericals, we can measure the amount of the liquid poured in the measuring cylinder. The commonly used unit for measuring capacity is liter. So children, what is the standard unit of capacity? It is liter. The other commonly used measuring unit for capacity is milliliter, which is written as ml in small. So children, I hope this chapter till now is clear to all of you all. See you in the next class. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.